Wait for some people to show up. Breath mint. Coconut juice. Very yummy. I get this at the Asian markets. Let's see here. I'm looking at this backwards. See that? Coconut juice. It's you get it at the Asian or international markets. Here we get it at the Asian markets. We buy it by the case. Much better price, but it's refreshing if you're out and about. Anyway, that's what I'm having tonight. Water and coconut juice. How is everyone doing tonight? The topic is tonight, why am I a Marine? My next fight is in the U.S. Senate. And it is going to be a fight because this is exactly what's happening, I suspect, here. It is actually happening here, but I suspect that it's happening everywhere. How are we going to fight it? Well, as I described that to you, start coming up with ways that you think we can. All right, let me get these straight. It is local corruption in the electoral process. Club DNC has done it again, this time on a local level. Now, this is something that I am really getting teed off about. I really am. These local boards, okay, they are very strong about their party. Now, you have to join the party. There's a line that you have to follow. There is a certain amount of state level involvement, so that makes them subject to state laws. The corruption I'm talking about is you've got registered Democrats or registered to a party, but I'm going to use Democrats this time, that are out there busting their tail and creating a following of people that are actually listening to what is going on. Not lies, not fabrications, but the honest truth. The same thing that I do in my campaign. Oh, for those of you first joining, my name is Dave Strider. I am an independent in the state of Washington. Right now, I am running for U.S. Senate. Now, I said right now because the general elections are over here. There are no complications that I can get into as far as taking attention away from those who are running in local elections. However, those days are over. We now have a full-blown primary election with voting next August. So this is going to be quite the primary season. Now, I, being an independent, I listen to your voice, not no party's voice. And I'm going to get into why I don't belong to a party, because it's your voice that matters. But how can your voice be heard if the party that you belong to doesn't let an incumbent be challenged by denying voter access information so that they can reach out to those constituents, so they can let them know that there is an alternative, especially when that incumbent is not following the rules, the request of the people who voted them into office. To me, that is dereliction of duty, especially when it's corporate money or super PACs or large bundles of whoever are doing their will and not yours. So what and they control the election board. So if that is the case, these people that are going to represent you and I are controlled by some club, some fraternity, sorority type gig. I think I know where the revolution needs to begin. Right here at our local board of elections and our state board of elections. And we need to let them know. For those of us who have larger populations, easier to let them show our distaste. The reason I'm saying this is, if we voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016, but our superdelegates threw the state more into Clinton's favor by voting for Clinton. I do not have anything against a woman running for president. When my first daughter was born, I reported back to duty. My senior officer, my OIC, the senior military judge at the Piedmont Judicial Circuit in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, said, "Well, Sergeant, what did we have?" I said, "A president, sir." He says, "No, no, 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 boy or girl?" And I said, "She's a president, sir." That's how I approach it. I believe a woman can be president if she has the desire and the love of the people, and she can listen to them and know their needs. After all, it's the women that raised men. Think about it. So I do have beliefs that a woman can. HRC was not the woman. Now, we lost that election. Corruption within the election board. Corruption, corruption, corruption on a national level. We are losing our national identity because of those clubs, okay? Those clubs who are bullying us to do this and do that, believe this and believe all, when they don't let us know the truth. When they don't want us to know the truth because they can guide us, just like some preacher taking your last dollar because you are safe now until next week when I need another dollar from you. Got to make sure your salvation is ironclad. Yeah, I don't like those kind of people either. Well, let's get back to the politicians. Let's get back to the Board of Elections. Now, we have really good people out there across this nation, okay? We have really good people out there dedicated to serve the nation from their districts, from their homes, ready to serve, ready for change, because they believe and they know, as I do as well, that there is the possibility that when we get there, we can start initiating bills on the floor like nobody's business. Paulie Ryan, I hope he doesn't get reelected next year. I really don't. And a lot of people like him. Paul Ryan's an evil man. He's an evil man, plain and simple. And I'll get in his face and I'll tell him what I think. I have no problem about that. I will shame that guy from the Senate floor. Why am I a Marine? That's the subject line tonight. Because our system for voting, for the people's voice to be heard through a ballot, is being challenged by a club, DNC. And I suspect that Club RNC is doing the same thing. And I can also see tabs of it in other parties as well. In the electoral process, get this straight, people, it is the individual thought, when combined with other thoughts, that move forward in a positive direction, not only for themselves, but for all those around them. Not thinking about taking things from them, but finding out ways that we can all give to each other in some way, shape, or form. By having an educational system that spurs the imagination, that cultivates our lives. Healthy individuals, human beings, with a good health care system, 150 years of age would not be impossible by the end of the century. It could be possible. Think of what we've done since 1950. All of you boomers out there, think about what we've done since 1950. We developed microwaves in the 40s. Okay, so let's start thinking about things, people, what we want. And we've got to change it today, not yesterday, because we failed to do it yesterday. So it's on us today. And tomorrow is not going to come, because it'll be yesterday again if we haven't accomplished what we need to do. Yes, we can plan for the future, but if we're not working today on what we need to do to be prepared for the next day, we will never see tomorrow. We never will. We are being stripped of our rights. Men, white, crazy men with a gun fetish and a power complex, little or no education as far as really good upbringing. I mean, you can have just a high school education and be a solid person and knowledgeable, not stupid. What we call with a lot of common sense, can figure out situations quickly. It doesn't need an education to prove it. There are people out there like that. They're treasure pieces. They really are. We have to gain our electoral system back. People talk about term limits and everything, but a state could issue term limits in the next election. In the next general election, the state could write a bill talking about term limits. The president has term limits. Why doesn't Congress? Why doesn't the Senate? Why doesn't the Supreme Court? Something's wrong with that picture. When you have millionaires in Congress and the Senate, how did they do it? You're there to do the will of the people, not line your pockets. There is no integrity in the Congress right now. There's no integrity in the Senate right now. There's no integrity throughout this land. Corporations are out there raping us like nobody's business. We're like a puppy farm, America. They don't care how many and how crazy we get, because they'll start a war to get rid of some of the crazies. But we got to get back our electoral system. Why am I a Marine? From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air and land to sea. First to fight for rights and freedom and to keep our honor clean. I am proud to claim the title, United States Marine. And you don't think things are fucked up? Think about that. If I offend you with some word bombs from time to time, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Do you not remember the pussy grabber? Do you not remember his big hands referencing his huge man member? Huh? His Johnson? Little Rubio, little Marco, what are you gonna do now? Anyway, we can't continue that, okay? We can't continue it. We've got to put our foot down, proverbially, put our foot down and mean it. And, you know, why am I a Marine? Because when I see something that's out of place, that's totally messed up and not getting any better, especially to those would-be kings and queens and princes and princesses that are governing our nation while ripping off the treasury. This latest tax bill, 1.4 trillion, goes right to the top. You think we're going to get trickled down? No, we're going to get yellow showers, okay? We're going to get those golden showers, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get those golden showers. And if you don't know what a golden shower is, please Google it. Then you'll understand what I'm talking about. The person who's making this tax break thing, can I put it into perspective for you? This is the kind of people that keep getting elected and elected and elected, and they think they're freaking gods. Well, I think the Incredible Hulk needs to walk through there. Did anybody see the Avengers? Okay, when Loki and the Hulk got into it, and Loki says, "I am a god," and then the Hulk picked him up and slammed him down on the ground and everything, and walked away from him. Loki's like, ah. And the Hulk says, "Puny god." That's them. They're bullies. They're punkiness. Okay? Do you want to get it back? Do you want to get back as rightfully yours? The government is that of the American people, not of a few rich men. It is of, and the property thereof, of every man and woman that is eligible to vote, the ability to choose the direction of their country through electing representatives that also carry their same values on life, community, etc., nation, etc. Mankind, humanity, humans, not black, red, white, or whatever. We're humans. Humans. Your body parts can interchange with my body parts as mine can with yours. So where's the damn difference? Okay? Where's the difference? Now I want to get back to this local thing because it's really got my craw. Okay? We have people out there in our local elections here in the state of Washington, okay? And I'm shaming the Board of Elections, all of you in all these different precincts, all of these different legislative districts. I am shaming you right now for letting this type of corruption continue. Or even when you hear about it from another legislative district, you do not say nothing. That is total bull crap, okay? That is not justice. That is not living liberty. That is not taking care of an oath that you took for us to do your best, to follow the laws. And when you see somebody in your group, this is just, you guys are just as bad as these police departments that's got dirty cops in it that can think nothing better than target practice on a moving man or woman. I wouldn't mind them sons of bitches being downrange from me. I'm a very good shot. I'm a Marine. Long range, short range, it don't give a matter. I know where my round is going downrange. And I shoot a weapon every 4 years. My patterns are like this. I've mentioned that before. I've shot the middle out of a target. You know, anybody who wants to see it, you let me know. I will bring it on air. I will post it on the site. And why we need Initiative 940 nationwide. That's right, Initiative 940 nationwide. What the local legislative districts, Board of Elections are doing is they're cutting out challengers to incumbents. That's right. Do I need to start naming them? Denny Hack, Kilmer, what's the other guy's name? Adam Smith, Maria Cantwell, the likes of them. Corporations, big money. Their superdelegate vote went against the people who chose Bernie. Whose pocket were they in? Clinton's. I don't know how much money they got or where they got other funds, but how many were there contributions that suddenly increased during this time or prior to? Follow the money. That's the best way to do it. The best way to do it. We have a rogue government. We have rogue entities, enemies of the state, corrupting our Constitution, your rights, my rights, the laws of this nation. Because nowhere in the Constitution does it say clubs have a right to manage our votes. They can have their parties, but they cannot manipulate our vote. That is a federal offense. Do we have an attorney general here in the state of Washington that'll go after him? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, if he's a Republican, maybe he might. I can't remember. Things are so screwed up in this, in this world, in this nation, and in this state. But I prefer this state, I'm telling you, over every state that I've had the opportunity to drive through, visit, or whatever. This is the state that I like. It would be ideal if it was tropical, but it's not. But it's close, okay? Nothing like having mountains surround you. And on the other side, water. Beautiful. Simply beautiful. Nature's at its most elegant form. Okay? But we're destroying that. We're letting that people that take bribes from corporations and super PACs and bundled monies, it's no big deal. From lobbyists, whoever they're representing and coming in to bribe. Now, maybe some of them don't take as much money, okay, but there's just enough to do what? Bring them in and corrupt them even further. Because listen here, those of you who are in Congress and the Senate right now and anywhere here in the state government where you are deciding the direction of this state and what happens economically to the people in my neighborhood, across the state somewhere. What are you doing to protect the environment? This environment. You may not be able to do much about Oregon or Idaho, but you can make a stand here in this environment and stop all petro refinery. Don't we have enough of them already? I think we do. Let's go back to the days where, come on, anybody remember the oil embargo in the 70s? If we acted like that conservatively, we would be in a lot better shape. We wouldn't need all these things. We wouldn't have to export it. You know what I mean? Money. What's that song by the OJs? Money, 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 money. Okay. The 70s were full of songs, protest, truth, and reality. It also had some surreal things to it too, which kind of told a story that was happening without saying exactly what it was. I think what we need to do is take back our Board of Elections. We need to take back and make sure that we're able to count the ballots. If they want to be a Democrat, go ahead, be a Democrat, But our Board of Elections, with no party affiliations, okay, they would count the votes. No party members from legislative districts could be there. There would be volunteers actually coming in, screened like a jury. Okay? Boom. But when a candidate is denied a database that is available to the other candidate, that is the height of cronyism. That is the duopoly in full bloom. That is corruption spitting in your face. I don't like that. It's bad enough when somebody, sprays when they talk, okay? Or a baby sneezes on you, which is kind of cute. I mean, I don't know how many times that happened to me and thrown up over my shoulder. The travesty that's being committed against people here in the Puget Sound by boards of election, not letting that database go. Adam Smith, how the hell do you live with yourself, buddy? It's because you're afraid. Denny Heck, how do you do that? Why? Why didn't you stand up for injustice? I mean, you when I first met you, Denny, you did all those things. You talked a good talk. And then you went corporate on us. Then we have Maria Cantwell, well liked by the tribes. Then you tell me this. First People in the state of Washington, if Maria Cantwell is such a good friend to the First People and your treaties, why are the fish runs being destroyed? Why are the fish runs being destroyed? And why is there an invasive species like Atlantic salmon being farmed in the Puget Sound? It sounds to me like she really, really, really likes you a whole lot. Keep them contributions coming. I'm not asking for your money, First People. I'm asking for your vote. I'm running against Maria Cantwell, the lady who seems to have your favor. Well, perhaps she's better than the Republican alternatives, like Dino Rossi. Okay, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, we were faced with the lesser of two evils this past 2016, weren't we? But if the whole nation would have voted for Jill Stein, I think we would have had a different situation. We wouldn't be worrying about so much about North Korea. We wouldn't be bombing Syria or tents in the Middle East. I think we would have an infrastructure revolution, a domestic revolution as far as building, restoring, protecting Dr. Jill Stein. Would make sure that municipalities do have fresh water. I believe that, okay? If the independents would have gone green in this nation, we would be facing a different story today. But I'm telling you right now, when a local board of elections legislative district muscles out a challenger against an incumbent who has failed to do the will of the people or to even listen to them, even when they had cold hard numbers in 2016 and went to the other one. We cannot allow that to happen. We cannot allow that to happen. We need an attorney general, a federal prosecutor, district prosecutor, to lay charges right now, because If they are going to tell us who we have to vote for, we no longer have a democracy. I am a son of the American Revolution. My family's been here since 1737. Cornwallis surrendered to at my grandmother's house to George Washington. Yes, it's the Moore house, okay? Lydia Moore married into the Strider family, married my grandfather. They had kids like me, okay? We fought on both sides of the Civil War. We fought in almost every war this nation's had, good or bad. I mean, I posted a picture of my grandfather and my father and myself. Now, my grandfather and my father were both Navy, and I'm a Marine. Okay, I've been making jokes about this all day, but I posted it on Facebook. I put, there was my grandfather. I put father, okay? My grandfather, I titled father. And then my father's picture, I put son. And then for me, and a Marine. It took 2 Navy guys to make one of me. Okay? 2 Navy to make 1 Marine. Yeah, I used to call my dad calamari every time he called me a jarhead. Okay? But we fight for what's right. We fight for freedom. I'm a United States Marine. I won't back down. I can't back down. I mean, you got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a good time for us politically. There's corruption, there's denial, there's finger pointing, there's all kinds of different kinds of news. But I will tell you this, I will never lie to you. I will always tell you the truth. If I don't know the answer and you want a response, I will give you how I believe until I get figures to clarify anything I may have said. And if I do say something wrong or I do something bad, I will apologize. I will accept responsibility. I will not have anyone in my staff or organization doing what? Bad-mouthing you. I believe we can all have a good dialogue and come to a compromise, a new direction, or to find out that the idea is just a bunch of bull and move on to the next one. Okay? So, my name is Dave Strider. I am a candidate for the office of U.S. Senate. I am an independent. That means I don't take corporate money. I don't take super PAC money. I don't take bundled money. The only thing I want is your voice. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to know what you are afraid of. And I'll lead the way. You don't have nothing to fear. I'll lead the way. I am going to be your next senator. That's what I'm thinking. No one else is talking like I am. No one else is covering the issues like I am. I will fight for you. I'm getting ready to release an expose here. It's in research. It may take a couple of months. But I'm going to tell you this. It's heavy duty. Okay? It's heavy duty. It's about all of us. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Are we next? Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow night, Saturday, is our last forum for the week. If you have any questions, any comments, please drop them off. If you want to be part of the team, get a hold of me. And let's talk about how we can do it. Okay? Thank you. Good night. And I appreciate you all. I really do. But we can't let boards of elections and legislative districts rule who we are going to vote for or who we as a candidate can talk to. That is not liberty. Good night. May your dreams be sweet. See you tomorrow, 6 o'clock.